Hello, and welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Steve Van Einstein, and thank y'all for joining me again tonight as we go through and do today's daily reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. This, of course, will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading, as this will be the first time that I hear it or read it right here on this podcast with y'all. So I'll be looking forward to it as I think the second to last day of November comes up, and the last few days about practicing self-discipline and the stages of self-discipline and how we actually go through them has been an incredible reminder of just this purification process and the journey we have to take to actually achieve these beautiful states of being. It really does take effort on our part to do it, but at some point you just realize it's not even a question of if you should. You just do. So let's see what today's brings us. This is November 29th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. A life without resolution is a life without aims, and a life without aims is a drifting and unstable thing. When a man makes a resolution, it means that he is dissatisfied with his condition, and he is commencing to take himself in hand and view with a view to producing a better piece of workmanship out of the mental materials of which his character and life are composed. And in so far as he is true to his resolution, he will succeed in accomplishing his purpose. The vows of the saintly ones are holy resolutions, directed towards some victory over self and the beautiful achievements of holy men. And the glorious conquests of the divine teachers were rendered possible and actual by unswerving resolution. Resolution, the companion of noble aims and lofty ideals. Here's a term we don't talk about too much with James Allen, but it's a very important thing to understand, and it's a very important thing to make. Especially the placement of this is pretty good. Coming up in December, people around this time start thinking about their New Year's resolutions. Right, it's a big word around these times for us. So, what is it? What does it do for us? Why do we make it? What does it even mean? Now, this is, I believe, again, this is from Above Life's Turmoils, because there's a chapter in resolution about in there too. So maybe this whole month's been from that, and I just didn't pick up on it till now. So if that is the case, please forgive me. But there is a chapter called Resolution in there, and I think that makes a big difference. So, excuse me, not a big difference. I think that's where this was pulled from. I'm not sure where that mental tangent was going, but either way. So let's go through this line by line. A life without resolution is a life without aims. A life without aims is a drifting and unstable thing. This feels like something we all know, but I'll tell you this, I needed it to be told to me. I needed someone to say I needed to choose a direction, someone to tell me that I needed to at least start, make a resolution to do something, right? And resolutions, I think it says in here somewhere, purpose as well. Like resolutions has helped further my purpose. Resolutions have helped refine my aim in life more so. So without them, we'll just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and we won't get any different results. We won't change anything. We'll just get stuck. And that's never a fun thing. And that leads to a whole lot of misery, actually. at the end of the day. So, life without resolution is a life without aims, and you just purposeless, taking up space. When a man makes a resolution, it means he is dissatisfied with his condition and is commencing to take himself in hand with a view to producing a better piece of workmanship out of the mental materials of which his character and life are composed. And in so far as he is true to his resolution, he will succeed in accomplishing his purpose. So, a lot in that sentence. But this opening or this first part of this sentence is awesome because it's what has to be there. When a man makes a resolution, it means that he is dissatisfied with his condition in some capacities, right? We don't choose to eat healthier because we're happy with how we eat. We don't choose to exercise or go to the gym because we're happy with our physical fitness, right? At least at the beginning. Later on, it becomes something we might enjoy. Later on, it might be something we come to appreciate, right? But that comes post resolution, right? That comes after resolution is made and after we've gone down the path and we've started seeing the results. Resolutions are only necessary for things you have a hard time changing. Otherwise, there's no real point, right? So we have to be dissatisfied with our current condition in some way, and then and in, and is commencing to take himself in hand. So we sit there and we put forth the effort needed with a view to producing a better piece of workmanship. So we're going to put the work in to create something better out of the mental materials of which his character and life are composed, out of what we already have, right? We're going to put more effort in on the creation of what is already in our lives and what we already have. And insofar he is true to his resolution. So the more we adhere to the resolution we make, the more successful we are with those resolutions, we will succeed in accomplishing our purpose. Right? And this doesn't have to be one major resolution. It can start small. Start with things that you can start to change and build a belief in the fact that you can change things. Let me tell you, any step in the right direction, any step in a positive, progressive, developing direction for yourself, it almost becomes addictive in and of its own. Because when you see you can change and you prove to yourself that it's possible, even in the smallest of ways, it's a boulder rolling downhill. What is it? Like a snowball going downhill. It just starts picking up speed. We love it. We start to enjoy it thoroughly. And it's all these resolutions build and refine ourselves and create and shape this person and this man of character, which will help us accomplish, which is all progress towards our purpose. Purpose is met through resolution and change, determination. So now, the vows of the saintly ones are holy resolutions directed towards some victory over self. Okay, that's a pretty cool statement right there, isn't it? The vows of the saintly ones are holy resolutions directed towards some victory over self. Like these can be, like I just said, these can be of gluttony, these can be of lust, these can be selfishness, pride, self centeredness, vanity. some character defect, some sin that shows up in our lives in some particular way that we just want to get rid of. We want to overcome. We want to change. That's where the saintliness comes in. That's how we become holy men, glorious conquests of the divine teachers. So it says here, victory over self and the beautiful achievements of holy men and the glorious conquests of the divine teachers were rendered possible and actual by unswerving resolution. And in that book, actually, he talks about how resolution should not be made lightly. Like careless resolution making is actually what puts you into the habit of not holding on to your resolutions. It's actually really is detrimental for you. So understand fully what it's going to take. I mean, I guess within limits though too, right? You can't plan for every single scenario. Get enough information to understand the weight of the decision you're making. Don't get caught up on the details too much, but understand it. So when you make the resolution, you make it of sound mind and body. So you can follow through with it. And that victory over self will suddenly come to a fruition you didn't know was possible. Now it closes with this resolution, the companion of noble aims, lofty ideals. Resolution, resolving to abide by this purification process, this self discipline, right? Resolution is so important. I resolved to be doing this. This whole podcast, it was a resolution for me to start this thing, to get involved with this thing, to be a part of this, spread something that I believe in and I know is true. It takes resolution. And that's been my experience. So, all right. Well, that is it for the 29th. I am looking forward to tomorrow's to see how November ends. And we're in our last month of this podcast for the year. I still haven't made a decision about the direction we're going to go with this. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment. I'd love to see it. So thank y'all for joining me again tonight. I'll be back in tomorrow. Until next time. Thanks.